Hi, do you love horses? Because at Cavago Stories, we love horses. We love them a lot. We'll be talking to notable and amazing equestrian personalities from around the world. Our podcast, Cavago Stories, is on Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. You can subscribe now or write to us at support@mycavago.com. That's support@mycavago.com. May the horse be with you. Christian and Tina, I'm so delighted to speak to you. It's so nice to see your faces again.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, Tauseef.
So Christian and Tina are really special to Cavago because they're the first ever customers and horse lovers on the site. And they've got a really interesting background. I think they came specifically to Dubai to ride an Arabian horse in the desert. And one of our best hosts, Al Jihad, welcomed them. And they had a wonderful ride. And then after that, they had a polo lesson at the Dubai Polo and Equestrian Club. That must have been a very memorable trip for you.
Absolutely, Tauseef. That was actually the first time we ever played polo. And we wouldn't have been able to do it without your website. So thank you for that. And it was a very interesting experience because I'm pretty much a lousy rider, but I was quite good with the club hitting the ball. And Tina, she's a quite experienced rider, but she wasn't able to really hit the ball. So we would have made the perfect polo team, but we would have to be on one horse together.
Yeah, it was very special because it was very spontaneous that we were able to book the facility. And I think that day when you took us to the Dubai Polo Club, they just joined Cavago and it just worked right away.
Yep.
So we went there the next day and did the lesson, and we did the booking over the website at the time because we were still waiting for the app to go online, and it was really easy, right?
Absolutely. I mean, the guy, and I think that was some sort of a polo legend who gave the lessons. First thing he asked us was, how many times have you played polo before? And we said, nope, not one single time, never ever. And the next question was, but you are able to ride a horse, right? I said, yeah, sort of. So it was really, really fun.
Very professional people there, very nice. And he took the time to teach me how to get along with the club and trying to hit the ball while he tried to educate him how to gallop on a horse.
Yes, I remember that. And I think you did really well. It's such a beautiful place to actually learn and play, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a wonderful place. They have great horses and the stables are accessible. You can see many different types of horses. So when you come to Dubai, you think there's only Arabian horses, but there are horses from all over the world, and it's very nice. And the location, they have a dressage arena and jumping. Then the large polo fields. It's very nice and a super nice cafe with great breakfast.
Yeah.
I remember the breakfast too.
Yeah.
So switching topics a little bit. We met at a very special place. I'd love to hear your take on that special place because they're also on Cavago. And also, what were your first impressions when we first met? I still remember the day so clearly.
Monte Velho is a very special place in Portugal. Nice horses, and actually we went there when we met you. We went there for the second time.
Okay.
Booking is quite complicated in Germany because you have to go for a travel agency, and it's usually pretty much booked out the whole year and the whole season. So we managed to get a second booking this year, and yeah, actually very nice horses. And the most special place about Monte Velho is certainly that you have a member of the Portuguese national team, Joao, who actually gives riding lessons to you. I mean, like he's really really nice, and he's really good as a trainer, and he's really putting so much commitment and efforts in every lesson. But anyhow, that would never happen in Germany. So very special place, very nice. Yeah, and I think we met you the other night where you wanted to stay only for one night, simply to get the place signed up with your website. And then you explained everything about the website. And so, wow, that's an interesting idea for someone from Dubai traveling the world and say, okay, I want to sign up places. And then I remember you had that lesson on one of their horses, but you had any equipment at all. So we gave you some of our equipment. It's quite fun. And then next day, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you asked us if we were going on a trail ride the next day. We said, yes, why? Do you want to go instead of us? No, I want to join you. And we were like, oh yeah, great. So you had to rearrange all your bookings, and they were very accommodating. So it worked out. We went on a trail ride, and it was fun. Yeah, and it was so hard to let you go to your fair. Yeah, we had a great time with you. And this is why we when we came to Dubai, we said, yeah, we really want to see you, and maybe you can help us arrange some riding in the desert. And yeah, you made it come true.
Yeah, it was amazing. I think we became friends instantly. Like, we didn't even need like 1 minute. And now we're such good friends. It's incredible. And I think we've been connected by horses, isn't it?
It's fun.
Yeah.
And you remember they have there's very crazy guy, Cesar, who's doing the trail rides at Monte Velho. I mean, if you're listening to this, Cesar, I apologize for this, but he's really good. He's really great guy. It's fun, actually, but we haven't been there since the last time. We did some other horse experience in the meantime, but yeah, it's always a good place to go. So is the Dubai Polo Club. Yeah.
Yes, both are such special experiences, and I'm so privileged to actually have them both hosted on Cavago, and they're great hosts. Actually, Al Jihad, of course, is incredible, and you know, you'll be amazed that so many people on Cavago have booked specifically, for example, Al Jihad to ride an Arabian horse in the desert, just like yourself. Mm-hmm. But the difference is that they're going in the middle of summer, and it's 40 degrees, and it was locked down because of COVID. And we've had so many people ride a horse there, and it's incredible. You can see the passion for horses by all these people who go and ride there on a weekly basis.
Great. Yeah, what I really liked about the Al Jihad was that we were also able to walk around the stables, and we also met the camels. They have camels, and I was able to ride on a camel. They let me ride a camel by myself. Yeah.
If I remember, he was bridleless as well.
Yes, bridleless, and I just had the rope and some sort of halter. It was quite interesting, and I think the horse, no, the camel. I think the camel didn't really like that I was sitting on it, but yeah, they make funny noises. I don't want to repeat it now. Yeah, it was a great experience. Very friendly people, very open-minded and welcoming. Yeah, we really liked the place. Yeah.
So I want to ask you, have you downloaded the app, and what are your first impressions?
We have, and it looks very professional. It's very easy to access, very easy to handle. You can pretty good find something, whatever you need. In particular, when you can choose events, stables in a specific area in which you are. So it's quite easy, and it shows you a lot of things you probably would have found without the app. So that's really, really helpful. And in particular, like when going back to the Monte Velho stable, I mean, we found that over a travel agency, but it's probably so much easier to find it over the app, because and then you have also different choices. You can say, if you want to do horse riding in Portugal, you have a number of choices in your app, and you can say, okay, which easily fits into your trip, because that might also be important for you where you actually are, where do you want to go, and then you can easily manage in the horse event into your trip, and that's quite good. That's something I like about the app.
And it's spontaneous, so you can book it spontaneously. That's a big advantage, and it makes it different from travel agencies because it's very easy accessible. And what I like is the exhibition part. So you can say you want to see you're in Jerez, and then you go to Llegada Catuya, which is I always wanted to go there because I have a Carthusian horse at home, and I'd really like to see where they come from and what people there do with the horse. So this is something I have in my mind when we go to Spain. Well, to be honest, I will not go to Spain to do anything else, but I want to go there and do this specifically. But here with the app, you get ideas. You can browse it, and at some point you will probably look at the app and arrange your trip around destinations in the app. In the end, this is what I expect what people will do if they love horses.
I think the most incredible thing about the app is it helps you find things you would never have noticed before, and that's really incredible.
I'm so glad you said that. And you know, one of the missions for Cavago is to be able to unearth some of these incredible gems in the horse world that perhaps you don't go and look for, but you just stumble upon. So it's like a wanderlust for horses.
Wanderlust, yeah, that's very nicely put.
So I wanted to know a little bit more about your booking experience because you were the first ever customers on Cavago.
Yeah, sure. So the experience was more or less that it worked instantly, which was pretty much, it was incredible for a new website, because normally you may have technical difficulties, but that really worked. It was just easy to get actually to book the polo lesson. Just clicked and then it was done. So very easy, very, very easy to manage. So we haven't used it since then, mostly because of what's going on at the moment. But we have looked at the app, and it seems, for me, it's also the booking is quite easy to manage. In particular, when you are in Germany, where you have to book everything over specialized travel agencies. So this is really, really the alternative to get easy access to a number of great places.
That's great feedback. Thank you.
So Tauseef, the app is great so far, but where do you see Cavago in a couple of months or years? What are your goals with it?
That's such a great question. Look, the Cavago dream is very alive at the moment. I would love to see all the incredible places that have horses on Cavago. And if you think about that, those are hundreds of thousands of places around the world. They could be very, very big, 300, 400 horse facilities, all the way through to the place that has maybe one or two horses with a specialized offering. They could be very interesting and unique disciplines. It could be, for example, vaulting or tent pegging or equine archery. So the whole world is really something that I want every single horse on Cavago. That would be an extraordinary dream. But from a technological standpoint as well, we're making it so much easier for both the hosts and the users so that the experience continues to be seamless. For example, a rider can obviously book a riding lesson every day of the week. They can specifically choose the horse that they want to be able to ride on if the host has that offering. If you would like to lease a horse, you can lease a horse as well. If, for example, you have a horse and you want to be able to put it in stabling or livery somewhere, and if the host has that offer, you can actually book a stabling as well. Of course, you can book a fully fledged equestrian holiday. And then the latest thing that we have also introduced is virtual classes. So there are trainers and horse photographers who are we're talking to create virtual classes that somebody can book. So if you really want to learn how to photograph your horse, you can learn from one of the best in the world. For example, Scott Trees, who's a world-renowned Arabian horse photographer, and he's going to be running masterclasses on Cavago as well. So I think the future is really exciting. I want people to go on the internet and think horse and Cavago it.
You can subscribe now on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Or you can write to us at support@mycavago.com. That's support@mycavago.com. Thank you for listening in. We can't wait to hear from you. May the horse be with you.